The Philadelphia Eagles dominated on the biggest stage, delivering a decisive victory over the defending champions. Their defense suffocated the opposing offense from the opening whistle, forcing multiple turnovers and racking up sacks that kept the star quarterback under constant pressure. By halftime, the game felt all but decided, the deficit proving to be the largest ever faced by their opponent's leader on this stage. Offensively, the Eagles attacked with precision, spreading the ball around and keeping the defense on its heels. Explosive plays and a relentless ground game helped extend the lead. By the time their opponent finally broke through to score late in the third quarter, the game had long slipped from their grasp. Despite desperation, the Eagles refused to ease up, ensuring their championship moment would be remembered as one of dominance. Super Bowls have a long history of blowouts, with many teams finding themselves on the losing end of lopsided affairs. Some of the most famous games featured overpowering performances that left little doubt about the superiority of the victors. A legendary San Francisco team once put up the most points ever seen in a game, with their Hall of Fame quarterback tossing touchdowns quickly. A fearsome Chicago defense crushed its opponent, setting a new standard for defensive excellence. Dallas unleashed an offensive onslaught that overwhelmed a team that had already suffered multiple heartbreaks on this stage. A Seattle squad silenced the league's best offense, turning a highly anticipated showdown into a rout. After facing an early deficit, Washington unleashed an unstoppable offensive explosion, leaving their opponent reeling before the game took shape. Despite the many blowouts, one thing has never happened on this stage. No team has ever been shut out. The closest instances saw teams held to just a single field goal, with Miami falling in the early years of the game's history and Los Angeles suffering the same fate in a more recent matchup. While defenses have delivered suffocating performances, an outright shutout remains elusive. For the Eagles, this victory cements their place among the great teams that delivered defining performances in the sport's biggest game. Their defense overwhelmed one of the most prolific offenses in history, while their offense was executed ruthlessly. They imposed their will from the outset and never relented, leaving no doubt about their superiority. Championship games are often expected to be tightly contested battles, but history suggests otherwise. Usually, one team finds another gear, seizing the moment while the other falters under the bright lights. This game followed that pattern, with one side rising to the occasion while the other struggled to find footing. The Eagles' dominance will be remembered among the great Super Bowl victories, another entry in a long history of decisive triumphs that left no room for debate about the better team on the field.